Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. Thank you very much for joining us today. Ohtani's interpreter, Ippei. Bad news over there. You've heard about it. We're going to talk about it and some odds and ends as spring training comes to a close. Boom, 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 boom. Hello and welcome to Talkin Baseball. Thank you very much for joining us today. It is March 25th. We are 3 days away from opening day, even though we've had two official games of the season happened already, but league-wide opening day, March 28th. Talkin Baseball is brought to you by SeatGeek, and like I said, opening day is coming, so you want to go see your team play? I know Jake and I do. We want to go. Opening day for the Yanks in the Bronx is a 1 o'clock game, so we opened the SeatGeek app. We found some tickets, good value, good seats, bad seats. We're going to use code Talkin, which gets us $20 off, and have some fun. So you can do the same. Thank you to SeatGeek for sponsoring the show. Jake, no Trevor today because he is missing, unavailable for comment. How are you doing?
James Davis, active player only podcast today.
Wow.
Doing well. We just came back from spring training, got a little taste of it. Some good ball, some good weather. Hope your team is opening up in some good weather. It's always funny we're going to be tuning into some 42-degree baseball games that opening week, and you're like, wow, that kind of stinks. And yeah, hey, our little inside scoop is all of the baseball players want to be playing real baseball at this point. It was funny just chatting up the different guys and like, yeah, we're ready to go because we're not pitchers. And yeah, we're our friend Zach Short of the compound. We got to see him, I don't know, hours ago, and he was like, yeah, I'm just hoping for the best, doing the best I can. He officially made the Mets. We're starting to get official who made the team announcements, and there's always a couple sneaky ones. I know our Yanks already have a couple that have kind of turned our heads, and we've got a little basically waiver period that's going to be going on where you're going to see some veterans or different guys land on your squad. So we're here after the 6 a.m. baseball games. And those were distracted by a little bit of bigger news involving some guys on that field. So I'm jazzy.
You're jazzy. Jazz Chisholm also made news.
Yeah.
Probably not talking about that today. If Trev's here, I wanted to ask him some questions.
All right.
Also some MLB PA stuff. Want to wait till Trev's on to chat about.
Probably
what's going
Wednesday.
on.
We'll at least hit that a little bit.
But for now, we're going to be talking about this Ohtani news for a little bit because it is absolutely bizarre. And it's a crazy story that I think because Ohtani hasn't spoken for so long and he's about to speak today, they gave a giant window of speculation, interpretation, trying to figure out what the hell's going on because the story is bizarre. And I think the only kind of facts we have right now is that the Dodgers fired Ippei, that ESPN found and the federal government found bank statements from Shohei Ohtani to Matt Bauer, who was an illegal bookie in Orange County. Like, those are all true. And then how did this happen? What's going on here is wild because we've had a bunch of stories. We've had all these facts coming out. It's either Ippei's the best friend in the world and a fall guy for Ohtani, or Ippei's the worst friend in the world and stole millions of dollars from his good friend Shohei.
Every rabbit hole you go down, you're like, okay, that tracks a little bit, and then you end up running into question marks. And yeah, Ohtani's press conference today, it's going to be super interesting to see his general tone in a bunch of ways because is he throwing Ippei under the bus? Is it game over? Ippei did everything wrong. Let the legal system deal with this. Bang, bang, bang. Is Shohei going to give kind of, I don't know, when you see people give lawyery answers of a statement and then I'm not going to really answer that. You'd like to think that they've announced it and they've had some time to think about it, that they're going to attack it. And speaking of having time to think about it, this kind of goes back to January. Like, that's when stuff was starting to get dug up that, I don't know, it definitely got it got to Ohtani, and they talked to his people, so they've known this storm's coming. So if you really want to put on the tinfoil hat and start digging, which we did a little bit this weekend, late night, you can stumble into some theories, but yeah, it either seems like, hey, Ippei dug a hole for himself and they knew that, he had his big bro Ohtani lurking, or this was kind of all Ohtani and now Ippei might take the fall.
The story that they're painting right now is basically Ridley. What's that movie?
Talented Mr. Ripley?
Yeah, or like a catch me, like Ippei's just like a giant con guy. That's like
Right.
what they're painting, is that he is con. Because it came out that his bio, the Angels have like employee bios on their website. It's like a little paragraph with a couple blurbs. Ippei is the official translator for Shohei Ohtani. He graduated from UC Riverside and formerly worked with the Yankees and Red Sox, translating for X player, I forget the name. And
I think
so that was like the little blurb that the Angels had, which I don't know where they sourced from. I'm guessing they just asked Ippei.
Right.
And what should we write about you? And they were like, here you go. And all that is not true. He never worked for the Yankees. He never worked for the Red Sox, and he did not graduate from that college. So that's suspect. Where did he come from? Do we have any understanding of what he did before he was Ohtani's interpreter? Like, there has to be some info out. I haven't seen that. If you need the full recap or the first part that on the channel, I did a video just reading the article, trying to figure out when it just broke. But the federal government found out about this in January. People that have been reporting on it have known about it for a long time, like Jake said, back in January. So Ohtani and his camp had to know this was happening. And the first story, Ippei did a 90-minute interview with ESPN, Tisha Thompson, and like gave this whole story with all these details about how he's a gambling addict. He lost all his money, and he asked Ohtani to help pay his debt. And Ohtani, he said, me and him like went to the computer together and paid the gambling off in installments. There was installments of $500,000. They saw 2 installments of $500,000 last September and October, I believe. But I think Tisha Thompson alleged that there was like many more. So they were paying it off in $500,000 installments. The other detail that scares me a ton is that Boyer, the bookmaker, knew Ohtani's name was on the bank statements. And that's in the article. And just pause and think about that, because that's the most blackmail you could have over a professional baseball player, especially someone of Shohei's talent, is that a illegal bookmaker knows and has blackmail over Ohtani that he's been paying a bookie. That's just a very scary world that was out there, whether it was Ippei stealing the money or Ohtani actually money. Like, man, that is the catalyst of a lot of terrible like ploys or things that can happen. As far as we know, nothing really came from that, but still, like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I guess I haven't been as much wrapped up in the quote-unquote illegal sports gambling, because there is legal sports gambling, which I don't know. That feels like a whole nother layer of this that we're going to get to at some point, like with, I don't know, between Las Vegas being there, or, we're with DraftKings and certain states gambling is legal. And if you do want to gamble legally, it's pretty accessible at this point.
Well, I don't care about... Well, I'm just saying the fact that Ohtani was exposed to that, someone having that blackmail on him, is crazy.
Well, what's the blackmail? That he illegally gambled?
Yeah, yes.
Right. But I guess that's what I'm saying. It's that if he's gambling on not baseball, which that's a layer we got to get to at some point. Like, I don't really care that he's betting through Matthew Boyer in California.
The government does.
Right.
And the league.
Right. Well, and it's Ippei betting. So
it's literally the same rule as you
I guess that's one of my whys.
Why what?
Why?
Why is he gambling?
Why couldn't he have a person in Vegas that places bets? Why couldn't you do, because those bets can be legal very closely.
Yeah.
So why?
Well, it's not legal.
DraftKings account.
It's not legal in California.
Right.
So he would have to have someone drive and place the bets for him or something instead of just texting.
I think there's people in Vegas that literally live for that.
I mean, I don't know.
I guess that's why you say that as like a scary blackmail thing.
Because it is against the rules of Major League Baseball to place bets with an illegal bookie.
Right. But as we're already,
the
I think,
consequences can be pretty bad.
Well, that's why Ippei placed the bets, Pop.
Exactly. But the fact that it was all out there is scary. Because it could crumble a sport. Because we're just trusting a ton of liars right now.
Yes. That
he didn't bet on baseball.
Right.
Like, until actual official IRS or MLB, or MLB will never come out with that, investigations go in and check it out, we're just trusting the bookie and the Ippei right now. Like, they're not to be trusted. I'm not saying I think he did or didn't. I'm just saying everyone that has made a statement on it has lost all trust.
Right.
So that's still an open situation.
I guess that's still just my why. Why use that guy and not use anything else?
Well, you guys asked Ohtani that.
Okay, so you don't. I thought you had a reason for that.
No, I don't. Okay, they met at David Fletcher introduced them at a blackjack game.
Fletch, we're looking at Yanks. Were thinking of picking you up.
That's how Ippei met the bookie. Supposedly, is at a poker game in Orange County. Fletcher introduced them. But Fletcher said, I didn't know he was a bookie. But I did introduce them. Something like that. So, yeah, that's crazy. And then the biggest question is, why would this bookie extend a $5 million line of credit to a translator if he didn't think someone was backing him?
Yep.
Because that's like question number one. That everyone's just conveniently going beyond. And it's like, well, can we go back to why this would happen? Now, I'm not in the illegal bookie situation. I don't know if regular old people with normal salaries get extended $5 million of credit. I've seen hardball. Keanu Reeves got beat up, and I don't think he owed that much.
Right.
Even, like, I think in the CBS Sports article I pulled up, like, Ippei, compared to most people, makes a very nice salary between $300,000 and $500,000 a year. That's not a $5 million.
That was like with the Dodgers. Money. The one they reported with the Angels, like $80,000 to $100,000.
Yeah, that's his most recent salary.
Yeah. He said he lost $1 million in the year one. Ippei.
Yeah,
it becomes
you don't collect
math because
math
ain't math.
That heads down two paths. Is Shohei just straight up betting through Ippei, which again is very much on the table, if not option number one. Or, like you're talking about, these aren't the world's most uptight, religious, believe everything they say people. Like, I don't know, this guy, Boyer, that was running it, he probably knows who Ippei's connected to, that maybe that's why he did all this. Like, there is an angle for that he's like, well, if this dude gets in trouble, I do know that his best friend, guy that he spends 365 days with, brings in $50 million a year and has $700 million coming his way, that if this guy does rack up a debt, we'd be able to solve it.
Yeah, but it's just it's fuzzy because this dude he's just getting text messages and then he's getting statements from Ohtani's bank account, and he saw that it was Ohtani. And
was advertising it was Ohtani.
And was advertising to grow his book that Ohtani was betting with him. That's pretty scary situation for baseball in general. And then, like, yeah, of course, it's going to be hard. Like, it's going to be very easy to be like, Ohtani didn't place those bets. Ippei did. Well, yeah, because Ippei was the one texting on the phone. Like, it's like how celebrities, I said this, how like Snoop Dogg has someone on salary to buy his weed for him.
Right.
Snoop's never bought weed.
Right.
His dude did that. It's literally a fall guy.
I wonder now that if weed's legal.
He has someone on staff now to roll his blunts for him.
Right.
They make $50K a year. Snoop Dogg.
Not bad.
Not a bad gig.
You gotta be good at your job. But you probably do other shit too. But that's the other thing is like, Ippei was more than just an interpreter. It's like, okay, but how did that happen? Because if this dude is the talented Mr. Ripley, Leach, con man, is he not an interpreter? And then he just latched on to Ohtani? Because everyone is just taking at face value.
Right.
He was with him 365 days a year. He went to the World Baseball Classic with him, even though he didn't need a translator there. He does the offseason. He does way more than translate. Why? How did that happen? If this dude is the snake in the grass they're painting him to be, how did he become like the caretaker for Ohtani's life?
Yeah, I guess I'm not freaked out as like, WBC and stuff like that. Ohtani's still doing a lot of American interviews along the way. So, like,
and I know it was a thing that, like, they let Lars Nootbaar use him because he doesn't speak Japanese.
But the rest of it
I
is
agree
like,
with
if you're painting this dude as such an awful guy,
right?
Then how did he go from like, because there's other interpreters in Major League Baseball, no one does more than this.
There's other guys who speak English and Japanese.
They said some like do help with bank statements because they have to interpret all the legal and the paperwork and all that, but this went beyond like what the Angels were paying them to do.
Game 1 of the Korea series, we saw Ohtani and Ippei hanging out in the dugout.
Yeah.
Like the vibe seemed very normal. They didn't seem vibes of a guy that had stolen $4.5 million out of another guy's account.
So at that point, they're saying that Ohtani didn't know about that, and that in the clubhouse, Ippei made a statement to all the Dodgers, said there's a story coming out, and I want to apologize for it. I'm a gambling addict. And all the Dodgers players were like, okay, so? And then Friedman came up and said Ohtani paid off his debts. How would Friedman know before Ohtani? And then Ohtani turned to a second interpreter and was like, what did he say? And then heard it for the truth. So they're playing it like this dude was like fake interpreting for Ohtani. But doesn't Ohtani speak Spanish?
I don't know about Ohtani's.
I thought that came out like maybe like very casually he does. It was a story of like a batter and player saying, no, he speaks Spanish to me when I'm on the base paths. And everyone was like, whoa, this dude can do it all. So maybe just very like casually hello and on the base paths and stuff. Yeah. And also a video of him talking with all of his ex-teammates on the Angels and all laughing and chumming. And that's...
Yeah, I mean...
Ippei's not there anymore.
It's kind of been... since Ichiro and a lot of guys, they just want to make sure they're covered talking to the media because it's another language.
So the story that like it took another interpreter, like, other people can have conversations with him.
Yes.
It's not like he's, mute to everyone besides Ippei.
Right.
But that's how they're painting it, that this dude was a master criminal.
This whole conversation hasn't really been a joy mode, but you probably need to get your joy mode on. Baseball's here. Trev would be talking about some high tea stuff. Promo code baseball. Remember that when we get there. But here's the deal. The issue with the over-the-counter erection pills contain unregulated chemical, unsafe doses, include the risk of several other health problems. That's why we are partnered with Joy Mode. Whether you're looking to spice up your intimate moments, sure, increase your confidence in the bedroom, Joy Mode makes all natural and science-backed supplements dedicated to helping men perform better. Their trademark product, the Sexual Performance Booster. Every man's solution for increased blood flow, firmness, stamina, and performance. It's like pre-workout for sex. Comes in a palm-sized packet with your favorite electrolyte powder, simply mixed with 6 to 8 ounces of water 45 minutes before some activity, and let the magic unfold. Redefine your intimacy and go to usejoymode.com/baseball. Get 20% off with baseball at checkout. That's 20% off and free shipping with code baseball at usejoymode.com/baseball. Great sex solved naturally.
Ooh.
Right?
Right.
Speaking of.
So Ohtani's going to talk today. I'm guessing it's going to be a lot of no comments because his lawyers are involved, and MLB said they're investigating the matter now. So he's not going to be able to talk much, but he's just going to be like, this is a very unfortunate situation. I'm saddened.
Where was Ippei's lawyer?
Ippei's text message exchange is it's crazy to read.
Buster Olney retweeted you.
Yeah. I mean, you walk around MLB clubhouses and talk to people in the media, and there's a lot of people asking more questions than just like accepting what we know at face value. Because you can't really just accept what they're saying at face value. There's so many questions that come from what's being told to us.
Yeah, and I don't know. As we try to be silly where we can, and I don't know, a lot of this turns into actual reporting or reporting on reports, but just really sad. I mean, Ippei was like a dude. It was like silly Ippei. He was the catcher during the home run derby for Ohtani. He was kind of the guy that was always with them. And I don't know, like every team's translator kind of has a sweet spot. Marlon for the Yankees, we got to hang out with him at spring training. He's an awesome dude. It was a Franco for the Braves. Who,
Yes.
He ended up getting some big time shine, and he was really nice to us at spring training a couple years ago. These guys are part of the crew. They're on the team.
Yeah.
He
basically was his like the suckerfish on the whale.
Well,
turns out he was a parasite.
Could be.
Wow.
And yeah, I don't know. It's funny. I'm reading articles now trying to get more of the background because I'm not sure how you fully get in the translator game. Like, I want to do this now.
I believe like Franco from the Braves, we met him and he was really nice. He was a different job.
Right.
And I think the Marlon with the Yankees was the same thing.
My understanding is Marlon was, we know the Yankees the best. I believe I've heard he was like any other analytics or baseball ops gig, forget exactly what, and he's bilingual, so.
Yeah, I think he worked a different
works.
job and then they needed one.
And I'm interested to see because, like we talked about with Okajima, those reports are getting kind of miffed or debunked. But he supposedly worked with other he worked with supposedly Chris Martin when Chris Martin pitched overseas, the stud reliever for the Sox.
Yeah, that is and
So he
apparently
was involved.
Apparently, he met Ohtani in 2013 or something. Might be getting that wrong. In Japan first, when he was working with American players there, and that's how they met. But I have no idea now, because the Red Sox came out and were like, yo, this dude didn't work for us. And the college came out and were like, we got no records of this dude. So.
It's wild. I mean, with his time on the Angels, Joe Madden Ippei plays a crucial role. He manages to convey every nuance, so I know how Shohei is feeling about things. I don't know. These guys were supposedly thick as thieves, and that's...
And to send $5 million over a wire transfer, there's a lot of security questions and matters and pings and stuff. Right. And they're saying, well, they haven't said this yet, but I'm guessing this is what they're going to say. It may be true, may not. Is that, yeah, Ohtani did help him wire them, but he told Ohtani it was for something else. He told Ohtani it was to cover personal loans or personal debt. And that's why it said loan on the wire transfer. And he didn't tell Ohtani it was for an illegal gambling. And that's where the theft came in. Like, not that he got into his bank accounts and did this because he had access. Because that's hard to believe.
Like, especially somebody with as much money as Ohtani had. Like, there's probably a whole team at a firm that's, just focused on his finances.
Or it's just Ippei.
That monitor his books at any one transaction that big. You get a call at least the next day asking that was you, right?
Yeah. The text exchange with Ippei and Tisha Thompson, the reporter who first broke the story, it's wild. I don't know why he kept texting. Said, when did Ohtani become aware of the situation? He responded, they told me I can't answer anything. Ohtani's representatives, are they representing you? No. So he's not being represented by Ohtani's counsel. Are you taking any form of payment to tell me these things? No. Have you made any kind of agreement to say these things? No. You're doing this of your own volition and free will? Yes. Did you bet on baseball? No. Did you lie to Shohei? Yes. Did he ever purposely misinform Ohtani while interpreting the issues the reporter is asking about? No, I have never done that.
What was I'm ready for all the punishment?
Yeah, that was
a tough.
I believe he said, I'm ready to accept all consequences.
Yes, this was all on me. Ohtani had no idea. That was the next day. The first day he came out and said, Ohtani knew. He paid off. He was being a friend and helping me because they were covering my debts. That was Tuesday. And then Wednesday, Ohtani's lawyers were like, dude, no. He's a liar. And then Ippei came out and said everything I said was a lie. This was all me. Ohtani knew nothing. I'm ready to face all consequences.
And I don't, again, towing the line between serious and silly, we were having some chuckles over, I'm ready to accept all the consequences.
Yeah, the exact quote is, obviously, this is all my fault. Everything I've done. I'm ready to face all the consequences.
We're a couple days removed from 90-minute discussion from Ippei. Actually, hold up. Wipe all that from the record. To Ippei then saying, I'm ready for all the consequences. Like, I don't know. Again, not a lawyer, but that feels like something you're not supposed to say going into it until you're like in the court of law and playing guilty. I don't know. It seems like the two most obvious things, and I don't know how you put them on your pie chart or your percentages, but hey, this was all Ippei. Ippei operated. He got too deep in this stuff. This is stuff people get too deep in. You hear about it all the time. And Ippei kept digging a hole, thought it would get better. It got worse. Some lying to Ohtani, and we got here. The other side of it is, I don't know, maybe this was just straight Ohtani. We know a lot of very famous athletes. It's a mix of being competitive and being wealthy. Michael Jordan, like one of the most famous gamblers in our country. Charles Barkley is like still celebrated as one of the more like delightful people the U.S. has to offer, is a known big-time gambler. So I don't know. Shohei could have a huge part in this. The fact that they were just going through the illegal California casino rather than another casino, I don't know if that's laziness or there's something strategic there that we're going to find out during the legal process, or if it's just dumb. But I don't know. Super interested to see Ohtani's presser today because, like, Ippei's his guy.
Just Ohtani, just perfect English.
Is he just devastated? Because either way, this is one of his best friends, right? This is a guy he's spent almost every day with for the past
seemed unfazed
8 years.
That clip of him laughing with all the Dodgers. What do you think they're talking about? Yeah, Angels. So, yeah. I'm guessing his press conference is going to be a little bit of nothing through another translator wearing an Ippei wig.
You've been commenting on Ippei's hair.
A lot of people have. It's bizarre.
Comment below if you're in or out on Ippei's hair.
Please.
If you could.
One detail is all his Dodgers teammates or Angels teammates said he didn't even watch sports. So they don't think it was him.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many, we won't even tinfoil hat for you, but if you want, Shohei's wife announcement was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. I've never seen anyone announce they have a wife like that before. I just have not. I'm pretty active on social media. I've never seen that. The dog being named Decoy, if you really want to get into theories, what's that all about? I don't know. It's also, once you start getting into something like this, you start digging and hoping you find other weird stuff, but
well, even not
weird
even
off season.
Not even tinfoil hatting. Just they said he's not interested in other sports. His wife is a rather famous basketball player in Japan.
She's a normal,
and he called her a normal Japanese woman.
Normal Japanese woman.
He didn't want to put her
weird.
Didn't want to put her on social media, which we're all like, okay, respect
the privacy.
Stay out of it. But then those Korea games,
they were Taylor Swift treatment.
A lot of cutscenes. So
that was odd.
I don't know. I don't know what you want to do with that. But yeah, we'll keep you updated, I guess.
That we will. Moving on. Next, some topics around the league. Some quick hitters, if you will. The Mets signed J.D. Martinez a couple days ago, a while ago, but we haven't talked about it on this program.
Yeah.
1 year, $12 million deal. Get this, though. The Mets will only pay $4.5 million of the salary this year. The remaining $7.5 million will be paid in $1.5 million installments between 2034 and 2038. So he gets paid this year $4.5 million, and then there's a 10-year gap where he's not being paid, and then he gets $7.5 million or $1.5 million a year for 10 years, or for 7 years, whatever the hell it is, 4 years.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I never thought I'd see myself in, well, and I don't see myself in JD Martinez's financial situation, but everything everyone tells you, if you're getting that kind of money, is get it in now because you make that money work for you and you get more money. Whatever. It used to be comical to me when I was in like high school or college because I was like, well, this is beautiful. What a good safety net if you lose all your money. Like JD Martinez, well, I guess, unless he's got his translator stealing his money. Like, I don't know. Whatever. I'm over that part. I'm more into the baseball part of it. And Jim, I know you really like JD Martinez's quotes. This was supposed to be one of the landing spots for JD Martinez all offseason, like Mets were rumored. By the way, makes their lineup pretty fun. Nimmo, Lindor, Alonso, McNeil, Starling Marte, JD Martinez. Like that's, you can go 6-7 guys deep there. And then if Alvarez full on clicks this year, Bader's a solid platoon guy. Zach Short made the team like we told you. I like the fit. You could be a punchy, fun squad. Mets with expectations scare you. Mets without expectations kind of scare you the other way. Get gritty in Queens, baby. Trevor's Flushings. So, yeah, I like that. And if the Mets season doesn't go, I don't know, if they're not competing, man, JD Martinez at the trade deadline, 1-year deal where he's getting paid this weird fake contract, he should be on every team's radar.
If the Mets are keeping the deferments to themselves, it's going to be a pretty reasonable number for whoever wants them.
Why not?
The deferments are for the Mets will pay the deferments?
I mean, they'd have to arrange that in any trade, I assume. But
I would
guess as part of any trade, I would guess, depending on the team.
I don't know if there's rules around it. I know because Scherzer got traded with some deferments and the Nats still paid for it. So I don't know if everything's negotiable or if you put deferments in a deal, you're locked into those. But someone's got to pay him.
Someone's on the hook for those, and I would assume an acquiring team would make sure the Mets are. Maybe not. They're not, like, insane. But
so, yeah, it helps them stay under the tax. Like a 1-year, $12 million deal without any deferred money would have come in at 13.2 because they get taxed on surplus because they're over the threshold in luxury taxes. Mm-hmm. But because the net present value of Martinez's deal will land under $9 million because it's getting paid out in future money, so inflation, deflation. That's funny. So you're like deflating the money in a way instead of because of inflation. Huh. So then it just lands at $9 million. So
his luxury tax, it is literally just under $9 million, $8.966 million.
And Mets, I think if you're having yourselves a good season, this move, just prepare that they're not adding more salary in the trade deadline. Like they are at the threshold and they're doing crazy shit like this to be there. They could dump a ton, but it would only be it would have to be trading guys with more years. But yeah, that's crazy, weird situation of avoiding the tax. But he said he wanted to go. He got a bigger offer from the Giants, but had good quotes or fun quotes about how he wants to be in baseball for a while and not just have a bad year and be out. And he said, if I'm being quite honest, it's not the best hitter-friendly park for me. If I go there and I hit 260 with 20, people are going to say I'm old and I'm washed up and I'm kind of done and I'll find myself out of the game. I wanted to give myself the best opportunity. It's nothing against the Giants organization at all. I just wanted to give myself the best opportunity to continue my career in baseball and keep playing. San Fran, they don't like that. They're out on him now. It's a tough ballpark to hit in, especially when you go the other way there. Citi Field is not like that. Most fields aren't. That's one of the big ones. So
I love that.
Yeah, it's nice to hear just flat out honesty. So I do like that.
I'm a free agent. I'm trying to have the best year I can so I can continue to play baseball. If I go to San Francisco, I mean, it's a great point. Like JD Martinez is 36. He turns 37 in August. if he goes to San Francisco and the numbers go down, everything goes down. If he can run back what he just did, he had an 893 OPS last year. So I don't know. If you're a Giants fan, that's a bit of a bummer again.
Yeah.
Jorge Soler doesn't care. And we looked up his home runs. He hits it out anywhere.
Because JD goes to right center a lot.
Inside
People were talking about this because, like, on paper, Citi Field is just as bad, if not the same as Oracle when it comes to park factor.
Like on the whole, they measure about equally.
But for home runs to right center, and he does say that, I go Oppo. He would have had 39 last year if all of his games were played at Citi Field, and if all of his games were played at Oracle. Is that what it's called?
I think
So.
It would have been 24. A 15 homer swing. So
pretty significant.
Yeah.
Of course, there's road games and stuff, so
Yes, but still, but it's cool.
The pure number there is interesting.
It's cool to have insight like that into why a decision is made.
Mets be fun.
I'm gonna trade everyone.
Yeah. Severino throwing hard. Manaea.
And this also, so the Mets that got affected by this, J.D. Stewart was on.
DJ Stewart.
DJ Stewart is DJ was like, their DH. Now he does break camp with the team, but that's because J.D. Martinez is starting in the minor leagues to get built up. So Zach Short and J.D. Stewart make the team. DJ Stewart. That's crazy. Tripped me up. DJ Stewart make the team. One of them, push is going to come to shove for someone when Martinez is up. Now they could have injury and then stay around.
There's time for stuff to happen.
But G-Man
and they could
Choi,
still make like a waiver claim on somebody, or there's free agents they might want.
They had other vets. They had G-Man Choi and Vientos got sent down. Iglesias.
Oh, the Iglesias. Well, if you're into legal sports gambling, go to the DraftKings Sportsbook. Fans are heading to the ballpark. We already told you about that. We're hoping to go to New York opening day, go wherever, and get in on the action with the DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, all new customers who bet $5 will get $150 in bonus bets instantly. And don't forget to use our code TALKIN. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use promo code TALKIN. Bet just $5 on any wager and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code TALKIN only at the DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Hey, bet responsibly and legally. That's a little bit from me.
And responsibly and legally. Double it up.
Couple other, I know you're pretty hype about the Zeke Tovar extension. Michael Lorenzen also got signed, which I think a guy who was an all-star last year, I know that means some different things, but an MLB pitcher, the fact that he signed and we still have Monty Lumen.
Oh, yeah. And Monty, was it a Heyman retreat?
He's getting hot.
Was it a Heyman tweet? I hope it was.
Michael Lorenzen goes to the Texas Rangers. What was it, $4.5 million? So not really. I don't know where people thought that landing price was going to be. I think he's probably still going to get built up and end up joining the team in a little bit. But he's off the table if your team was looking at him. And now it's Monty season still rolling.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the most recent update because it was like his market is heating up. There's 4 teams in a bid to get him, and they're all like long-term deals or something like that. And I don't know if it was a Heyman tweet, but
you
I'm
almost
guessing.
started going into your "we're having a big party and you're all invited" quote.
That's how.
That's kind of what it sounded like.
Yeah, that's I believe how Heyman tweets about free agents. Damn, he's out there a lot. He's tweeting a lot. But it was the Yankees, the Phillies.
Red Sox still involved?
I think they were listed.
Yeah, I wish I could find it. But I can't.
But I can't.
There's got to be like somewhere that's got the most recent one. I want to tell people the teams that were listed.
Nightingale? Bobby
Okay,
Knight?
maybe it was Bowden. Southwell's camp has 2 long-term offers on the table and that he could sign somewhere as soon as this week. It's unclear which teams have made an offer to Montgomery at this point, though he's connected to the Yankees and Red Sox in recent weeks. And one club, it appears, is not among the teams to have made an offer to Montgomery is Philadelphia. Okay, so not Philadelphia. Glad I didn't get that wrong. And they're saying long-term.
Which always kind of made sense for Monty. I mean, peaking, innings.
Wait, hold on. What's this mean? Signing a multi-year pact could certainly make some sense for Montgomery as Southpaw was ineligible to receive a qualifying offer this winter. So he didn't?
He was traded at the deadline.
Oh, so then he's ineligible. So he doesn't have it attached to him.
Correct.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
When you're traded at deadline, you can't get it?
Yeah, you're ineligible.
Why?
There's different reasons for it, but it's kind of a win for players.
Oh, because
so teams trading for guys can't do that.
Because teams would, because teams not in the hunt for the playoffs would just trade for a dude so they could offer him the qualifying and maybe get him at a different rate. Okay. That's weird. I didn't think about that. Okay, so cool. So he doesn't have that attached to him. So he should go.
Where's he going, Jim?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yankees or Red Sox. But he should take a long-term deal. He should take like 5 years.
Even if it's less like money than he thought he was going to get and deserves and all that, like get whatever the biggest deal is, Monty.
He might get like 5 years, 120 or something like that. If this is the market and he wants length and
I think if he wants length, it's going to be lower than that.
I was going to do 5/100, but then I felt bad.
Yeah.
Because I just think his agent is going to want it higher. And
with where the numbers are coming, I was going to throw like 590 out there. It just feels like the market's changed.
With an opt-out, depends.
Does he want that?
He is a lefty pitcher that is going to give you innings.
And it's in theory, he just got better, so
yeah,
maybe he would want that.
This might be the best. He might be improving. He's learned stuff the last year and a half or so. He's like started throwing harder.
But he's not pitching in games right now, so he's not going to be like ready for opening day, or he might even have a bad couple months. Like that's what happened in 2019 or 18 when everyone got delayed. So we will see. But that is your show. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. Baseball is coming. We'll be live streaming opening day. JM Baseball YouTube channel. Check it out.
Trevor.
Jake Charles.
Jazz Chisholm.